Yeah.
Welcome back to Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and mass meet friction and the ramp decides the results. We're back at it on this rainy Saturday, but that's okay because there's always fun stuff to do inside as well as outside. Um, it was nice to hear from one of the folks who watched an earlier video, previous video. So I'm going to give a shout out to Anthony Barlow, 7658, for commenting about one of the vehicles he saw in video in the background, and it was the Greased Lightning Ford De Luxe, 1948. So for those of you who are familiar with the movie, the musical, but really the movie, that's where this car came from. We're going to test it out on the short form drag strip. If you remember in the movie, they did do a drag race, although I don't have any culverts for this for this car to go up and down on. But we'll see how she measures up, warms up, and then tests out. There's going to be some interesting features on this, as I can already see in the box. We'll do the usual unboxing piece. We'll do the measurements. We'll do the test runs, or excuse me, the warm-up runs, and then we'll do the official 10 test runs. But I moved her up in the queue because he made that really fun comment. And so here we go. Again, if anybody else sees anything in the videos that you are interested in knowing a little bit more about, measurement wise and performance wise, please let me know. I put the results in the description. We compare within the overall, like of all the cars that have been measured and tested. I'll say cars, vehicles, because there's going to be some trucks, pickup trucks and stuff. So we'll say vehicles. And then also how they perform within their own weight class. So I think, so we've had one other from the Greenlight Hollywood edition. That was the John Wick Mustang. The boxing or the packaging is still going to be the same. This is the back. I'll show you the front in a minute as well. Oh, look at that. The back will have the beginning of their drag strip from that race, the drag race that occurred in the movie. From I think it was 1976, if I'm not mistaken. I remember when it came out because we went to see it. I'm thinking it was 1976, but does it say anything on the package here? No, not about the movie in and of itself. But anyway, all right. Well, that's enough of me yakking. Let's get to unwrapping for car 27. There it is. So now you'll be able to see it with its correct directional here, not as a mirror. Looks pretty cool. There's trying to get that little light reflection out of there so you can see the rest of the packaging. And this is like hardcore. This is collector level, hardcore plastic. I'm going to have to use the box cutter to get into this one. There's the picture I was telling you about. I'm going to lift up the camera a little bit so you can also see the top part of that. Greenlight Hollywood collectibles. The back package, drag strip for the movie, or from the movie. Yeah, pretty cool. So here we go. I'm gonna do I'm gonna have to do the box cutter on this one because these from this company, Greenlight Hollywood, they are really well packed. So here we go. I'm going to do this in a way that will hopefully get it out of its package without me damaging anything around me. But, if you're going to ever use sharp objects for folks who are younger, you don't really want to ever cut towards you. I'm doing this to get a little bit of leverage. You should always be cutting away. But this is, here we go. I'm trying to do this. I'm doing this very delicately, not in a rush, because I want to make this as clean as possible. Because I don't know, there's some of the packaging design is pretty interesting as well. Let's see, how do we do so far? Okay, we're getting there. We're getting there. Um, if anybody else has purchased cars from this line, from this company, have any other suggestions for getting in and into these boxes a little more efficiently, I'd always be down to hearing. But yeah, okay, we're almost there. Almost there. Gonna give it a little bit of a bend so we can fold this backwards. Oh, here we go. Let me see if I can slide this across and see if we can. There we go. Okay. Well, that was cleaner than the John Wick, but this has a package within the package. So I don't know. I kind of like the little checkered flag there at the bottom. Pretty cool detail. We'll toss this to the side. It comes into this little blister pack situation, so you can even see little flags here. And the box makes it feel heavier than it is. It definitely feels lighter. But as always, we're going to do the close-up view. And this is Grease Lightning, the 1948 Ford license plates, or license plate. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. It makes me want to go watch the movie. The artwork on here is pretty good. We'll see how it runs comparatively. Yeah, isn't that kind of cool? I was talking about little details. Look at that upholstery. Trying to keep the light on it. The steering wheel. Trying to get the dashboard in a little bit clearer. You even got the visors that are up. I'm looking to see if nothing doesn't seem like any moving parts. Okay. Made in China. I'm not sure about the definitely rubber tires. I'm not sure about the base. I will have to double check the base. But see, just like with the John Wick vehicle, it's wobbly when it rolls. So they look really cool. These are probably best at like keeping the boxes as collector's items. I did purchase one to use for the lab here for the measurements and the testing, but I also bought one to just have as a collector's item, and that'll be main. I'll keep that in the box. That's over that direction that you might see at the end of the short form drag strip. Okay, I think it's time to put this baby through its paces. See how she measures up before we get her on the track. Stay tuned. So I just finished giving a whole blurb, but I was on photo and it didn't record. So take two. Um, what I had said essentially was this is the second vehicle from the Greenlight Hollywood series, and I'm not really impressed with the quality of the builds. This car, the rear wheels are a little bit wobbly. The axle looks like it might be bent. So not sure how she's going to perform. I'm not really expecting much and handling it with her. Now that said, in their cases, the cases are super strong, tough to get into. They're great for collectors because the detail looks fantastic. I mean, the car looks really cool. I'm glad I have one that I kept in the box. But as far as like racing and quality, eh. But as far as design and aesthetic, yeah, thumbs up. So it depends on what you're doing. For nostalgia purposes, I love it, and I'm glad I have one for that side of my sort of collection. As far as this goes, we'll do the usual 20 warm up laps. We'll track the progression of the fastest and slowest laps. And then on the short form drag strip, and then we'll do the official 10 laps. I'll be back before then, of course, and we'll talk about anything that seems odd, out of place, different, whatever, if anything, pops up. I'm hoping this car makes it through all the laps. I am concerned that the rear wheels might not hold up, but we'll see. And then at the end, regardless of what happens, as always, we want to give it its moment of glory to respect the folks who designed, who crafted the mold, who created it, the inspiration for the vehicle, all the people involved in all their work, and put it on the lighted spinning pedestal, because that's really what it comes down to. It's kind of like looks really good to have its moment, regardless of how it performs. So anyway, the measurements were interesting. We'll see how it does. But so how do you say we'll turn it around, take a look at the first warm up lap, and that's going to be well. There you go. Let's just start. Let's just turn around. I'll stop gabbing. Let me stop yapping and start laughing. Okay, I should have been napping. That's what I should have been doing. All right, first of the first run. See how she does. We tested the gate. Gate should work. Yep, works great. Yeah, see, that is pretty slow, and she looks lopsided. 2.155. This may end up being like the slowest so far, but let's see how she does with the rest of the warm-ups. All right, just finished the 20 laps, warm-up laps. Nothing really surprising. First lap was the fastest, and it just, slowest lap was 2.365 seconds, with the fastest being 2.155 seconds. So we're about to do the 10 test, or excuse me, the 10 official runs to find out how she performs overall. So let's do this. Cue Greased Lightning. She may not be burning up the quarter mile. If you know, you know. But she does look good. This is lap 1 of 10. Yeah, 2.315. All right, 9 more. Cue music. I think if Grease Lightning's available, we're going to do that. If not, we'll figure something else out, and we'll use Grease Lightning for the IG pages. All right, enjoy. Okay, this is lap 10. We had its slowest lap. It had its slowest lap on lap 7. So yeah, it's kind of doing okay, but not great. I think it's probably going to be the slowest in the lot in both overall, which then would also mean in its weight class. But that's okay. She looks good. Okay, that was 2.376. But as you can see, the slowest lap of the 20 was 2.365 of the warm-ups, but they're in lap 7, actually lap 6 and 7, 2.372, and then 2.476, then 8 was 2.434. But hey, it is what it is. Not all cars are gonna run super fast. Again, it looks good in its paint job, looks good for nostalgia. I love the interior. Here's some of the couple of the other green lights. We got the John Wick 2. There's the one I'll be hanging on to. And then look at that. We got a Starsky and Hutch one. I do have that as well to be tested down the road. In the meantime, we're going to enter this information back into the database, see how it compares. We'll be back. We're back at the lab here at Peak Speed Lab 164, where gravity and friction, a lot of friction, met, and gravity and mass met friction, and the ramp decided the results. And boy, was this slow. I got tongue-tied because I was just really blown away. I mean, I was sad that this car was so slow, because I was really hoping it was gonna be fast just from good memories. But again, Looks really fantastic. It would look great. It's going to look great on the pedestal. You know, the design work, the interior, just even with the steering wheel, the precision there of the license plates. You know, do this one more time. Now I know it always ends up getting a little blurry, but we'll put it on the pedestal and give it its, as usual, moment of glory. But yes, fastest warm-up lap was 2.155 seconds. Slowest was lap four, that was lap one. The lap 14, 2.365 seconds was the slowest. And then of the 10 official laps, we had an average of 2.345 seconds. With the slowest lap I mentioned a minute ago, 2.476. That was lap 7. So yeah, looks great. Does not run well. The build itself, like I said, those rear wheels. I don't know if I can show this. Are a little. Let's see if we can. You can sort of see the. I don't know if we can even see the alignment. See how they're a little crooked, tilted there a little bit, but I don't know. Looks great. I have one for my collection that I'm just going to leave in the package, and I love the nostalgia of it. But Grease Lightning was not Grease Lightning, so. But it looked like Grease Lightning. And that's what matters most. All right, enough about me. Enough about me. I'm not even talking about me. I'm talking about Grease Lightning. Let's put her on the pedestal. I'm going to see if I can time this again. Boom.